All right, you guys, I have to jump in my van and drive around because it's been sitting for a week, 2 weeks, maybe. So I'm gonna go jump in the van and drive it around and tell you about what I'm doing next on the GTI. Tight squeeze here. Okay. All right, let me start this bad boy up. Second time's a charm. Well, I don't know how to turn this parking brake light off, but there goes the parking brake. I'm not sure how to get that off, but I'm gonna look at that. So with the van, you guys, I had to take this doghouse off. This right here. I still haven't connected it fully, but this comes off. The doghouse comes off, which is right here. And then you can access the engine. And I bought this van for 500 bucks. It's got 150,000 miles on it. And it's an awesome van, you guys. I bought it off my friend Mark. He owns a frame shop. He's the first owner, and I'm the second owner. It's a 1992 GMC Rally STX, and all it needed was 2 fuel injectors. That cost me 80 bucks. We've done a lot of stuff on the GTI. I've done the spark plugs. I did a bunch of the hoses in the engine bay. I did the front brakes. I still have to do the rear brakes, but I'm waiting for that. Gosh, I've done the ignition switch. I did the ignition and the ignition switch twice because I ordered an ignition that didn't work. Even though it was for a Rabbit, I had to go back and reorder one that was for a GTI, because apparently it's different. And so I ordered the GTI one, and I did not have high hopes, but it ended up making it so that the car cranks over. And the next thing I need to do, I bought a brake line kit, and it's my first time doing like a rigid brake line. So I need to do a bubble flare. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that while I order a gas tank and have my gas tank come in. Copper brake lines, the rigid brake lines. The old ones were so rusted on, there was nothing I could do. I had to Dremel them off because it's a tiny little space, and I had to Dremel off the nuts, which of course ruins the brake line. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing today, brake lines, you guys. I have the hard line. I've already cut one, what I believe is the measurement. I think it's 20 inches exactly. You put this little cutter on here. I made a mark right here at 20 inches. Okay, so you clamp it down a little bit, little by little, and then you twist this around, twist it around, you know, until it kind of feels a little looser. Tighten it up a little more. And I noticed with this, you don't want to tighten it up a lot, or else you'll pinch your line here, and you don't want to pinch the line. You just got to go little by little. Tighten, spin, and eventually this line will just pop off after you've done the proper amount of spins. Kind of have to be gentle with this part. Oh, and there it goes. Okay, and so this side of the clamp here flares your line outwards, but if you just turn it upside down and put it on this side, it creates this bubble flare. You kind of have to use this little tool here to widen the hole in order to fit this guy in there. So this guy fits in the end here. I'll probably have to use that little tool to widen it up because it's not fitting in, as you can see. So I will just kind of poke this guy in there and move it around ever so slightly, and then this should fit. Ahead and tighten this down. I'm not going to take you guys through this whole process because it is like maddeningly frustrating. Yeah, so as you can see, that is not what you want. So that's a waste, and I will cut another one. So hope you can see this. but this copper line here is what I just did. But it fits, and the nice thing is that the nut on the back of this that goes into the drum brake, it was a 7/16. The original one was a 7/16 nut, and this one is a 10mm. And it runs over there. I got the other one on that side. So once I get these brake lines, these flexible brake lines in the gas tank, we should be good to roll. Connect everything back up.
What are you so cute for? And just what are you so cute for?
All right, you guys, bear with me. It's a little windy out here. So I did try to fix this with JB Weld, but it just snapped off again. So eventually I will be changing this distributor. I've got to change the fuel filter. It looks easy enough. Possibly the coil back there, I do want to see if that's an issue. But after all of that, I think I should get this baby to crank up and start. But I'm not getting any, I might not be getting any spark. So I gotta check that as well. So I popped this little banjo bolt, and hopefully you can see this. Hopefully my angle is good. I popped this little banjo bolt here, and I can smell that there's fuel coming out. Just want to put some paper towels down just in case. It stinks though. It smells. Oh, there goes a little washer. It's all right, I got more. But yeah, so not a lot of fuel in there, huh? We'll replace that. All right, you guys, so we got this ProTune fuel filter, brand new. Got some new washers, although these are not copper washers. I wish they were copper washers. Just like that. There we go. Fit that guy back in. Got a fresh fuel filter waiting to take on some nice new fuel from a nice clean tank. Man, I noticed one thing, you guys, when I'm recording on the GoPro, I can really hear myself breathing. I'm gonna do my best to edit all that out. This little banjo bolt, put it in a little bit better of a position than where it was. Well, you guys, I ran out of sunlight. Actually, I have a light out there, but my neighbor came out and said that it was pointing at his bedroom window, or he sends the sun out to tell me. So I moved the light. Anyways, I ran out of sunlight. Got the fuel filter on, ordered the gas tank, ordered the rear brake hoses. So those are coming in. Yeah, tomorrow's a new day.